On this week's episode of the Kieran Show, we figure out how Kieran paints the Chapter Master of the Dark Angels.
Yeah, this is very much a how I painted, not a how to. You're all probably far better painters than me.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Let's get into it. Okay, so we start off with a black primer. I applied this through an airbrush and then just came in with a quick Xanthal highlight. This is just to give me a map, really, because I'm going to go with quite an opaque finish. And you can see they've also stuck the Space Jawa off the mini and also the head on a stick. And using Vallejo Dark Green. Now this is to block in any of the armor panels. So this is essentially all of the green areas around his feet and his chest, etc. I prefer this to Caliban Green. It just applies a bit better, and as you can see, nice deep green, just ready to go. I'm going to use Vallejo Colour 950 Black. This is just for the joints in the armour, any of the black details, such as the piping, and also that shoulder pad there. As you can see, I've also blocked in the flag and also the tilting shield with the same colour. We're then going to block in one of the biggest areas on Azrael, which is the lovely soft cape that he's got flowing from him. So we're going to use a base coat of Karak Stone. Probably going to need 2 or 3 coats of this, just because it's quite a thin paint, especially around his chest as well. As you can see, that colour's looking quite nice now. Really sets up the mini nicely for later stages. As you can see, we all make mistakes, so I've just gone back in to tidy that up. And then I'm going to base coat the undercloak with Barak-Nar Burgundy. So you have to take your time, just make sure you don't get any of that on the cloak. And also do the purity seals and the sword handle in this colour as well. As you can see, adds a nice bit of colour to him. And then I'm going to base coat any of the red details with Mephiston Red. So this is the classic bolt gun casing. Just going to block all of that in with 2 coats. Also pick out a couple of the red details on his armour. For example, the little sword and the tilting shield, and also the sword on his chest plate there, and also the sword on the banner as well. As you can see, and I've also blocked in the Space Jawa's helmet ears as well. Then I'm going to block in all of the white details with Ulthuan Grey. So this is the aquila that goes across his chest, the bits around on his wrists, on his shoulders, and also going to block in the purity seals with this, and also the skulls on the backpack. I'm going to move to the leather details, and I'm just going to give these a quick base coat of Rhinox Hide. There isn't a great deal of these, they're just mainly around the back. I've also blocked in the little feather as well, which is hanging from the tilting shield in that colour. I'm going to move on to Dawnstone. This is a great colour. I'm going to block in the belt and also the little string that's holding the feather onto his tilting shield. I'm going to block in all of the gold details with Retributor Armour. So this is like the sword hilt. There's also the skull on the end of the sword. There's the skull on the end of his pistol, and the little doll thing that's hanging from his waist as well. I'm going to use 2 thin coats, Cerakote Silver. This is to block in any of the silver details. I'm going to leave the sword for the minute, just because I want to do a different effect on that later on. So this is just mainly around the gun casings, really, and also the backpack vents as well. I'm going to move on to Xandri Just. This is just a block in that little skull in the middle of the sword, so we can set this up later on for more of a bone colour. And as you can see, both of them side by side, pretty much most of the base colour's done now. I'm going to start washing some of it, so we're going to use Apothecary White Contrast Paint. Just apply a thick coat of this all the way over that Ulthuan Grey base coat. This will just bring out some of that detail. I'm going to move on to Old Reliable, which is Nuln Oil. Just going to give a panel line across all of the green details with this. Just running that into those recesses there. And I'm going to give the red a quick wash with Flesh Tearer's Red. This will just deepen some of those little recesses on the gun casing. As you can see, with those washes applied, I'm starting to get a bit of depth on them. And I've also applied Flesh Tearer's Red onto the Watcher in the Dock's ears. Then going to give all the purity seals a wash with Agrax Earthshade, and then we'll move on to setting up the green highlights. So for this I used a 2-to-1 mix of the base colour, which was dark green by Vallejo, to Warpstone Glow. This is just applied as a thick highlight all around the armour, mainly where all of the light catches. It's quite a subtle effect, as you can see there, but it sets it up for later stages. I'm going to move on to just pure Warpstone Glow. Again, applied in the same way, just a thinner area inside that green armour. Again, just working all the way around, catching the points where the light will be hitting. Try to highlight some of it in volumes rather than just edge highlights as well. As you can see, that green armour is now really starting to pop. We're going to take it a couple of stages further and really push some of those highlights. And I'm going to use a 2-to-1 mix of Warpstone Glow to Moot Green. This is just for the highest points of the highlights, really. As you can see, just around the sharpest edges. This is to then set up for a pure edge highlight of Moot Green. So this is applied just really thinly across all of the sharpest corners where the light would be catching the most. As you can also see, some of those transitions are a bit harsh, so I'm just glazing back in some of that Vallejo dark green just to help some of those transitions between the lighter colours and the dark colours. This will just help tie all those shades of green back together. And here's the final result. You see the armour is really pops now. Got some nice sharp points as you would expect on a Space Marine. I'm going to go back to Mephiston Red. This is just applied as a highlight across all of the gun and also any other red details as well. I'm going to apply Evil Sun's Scarlet. This is just an edge highlight all around the red details, so that's the gun casing and the swords that are sticking out of his chest. And also, same thing applied to the Watcher in the Dark on the helmet that he's carrying. I'm going to go back to Ulthuan Grey. This is to layer across any of the white details, just to bring back some of that punch. So picking out all of the feathers on the Aquila, and also the sharp bits on the skulls on the backpack. I'm going to give that just a spot highlight with Bold Titanium White by Procryl. This is just for the sharpest details, so the teeth on the skulls, the tips of the wings, and the tips of the sword in the middle of that Aquila. I'm then going to start wet blending on the giant cape. So what we do here is I applied some Xandri dust there, wash off my brush really quickly, and go and get some Karak Stone and just try and blend that colour out into the main base colour of the cloak. This just helps give it a more natural feel rather than just really sharp edge highlights all around what is essentially a really soft fabric. It takes a bit of time. It's more of an organic process. You just have to keep going backwards and forwards between Karak Stone and Xandri dust. Just to deepen some of those recesses, I'm going to buy a quick glaze of Steel Legion Drab. This is just into the really deep sections of the cloak, as you can see there. As it's a glaze, it'll just give a nice subtle effect rather than a bold line. I'm going to move on to the higher points. So same thing again as we did with the dark tones. Wet blending between Ushabti Bone and Karak Stone just to bring some of that light onto the top bits of the fabric, mainly around his legs and the sharpest folds. Again, it's an organic process. I'm just going between those two colours, trying to find what works, and then just applying a thick edge highlight all the way around the cloak of just pure Ushabti Bone, and then an even sharper Screaming Skull edge highlight in the middle of that Ushabti Bone, just to give some sharpness. And the same thing to the Watcher in the Dark as well, just on his robes as well. I'm going to move on to highlighting the inner cloak. So this is just a thick edge highlight of Screamer Pink, just down any of the sharpest pieces of that little underskirt that he's got, and then an even finer edge highlight of Pink Horror just in the middle and around the bottom of those. Did the same thing to all of the purity seals as well with both these colours, just picking out the raised points of the wax. As you can see, it's really starting to pop now. Both sets of the cloak are done. Then I'm just going to give all of the gold details a quick highlight with Liberator Gold. Just picking out the corners for this really. Don't need to go overboard with this. Same with the little doll hanging from his waist. Just pick out the raised points for there. And just an edge highlight across the sword hilt as well. I'm going to go back to that flag and go with a Warpstone Glow Moot Green highlight, same as we did. And I've also applied a gold highlight around the trim of that. I'm then going to move on to blocking in the fire on the back of the banner. So I'm going to start with Avalanche Sunset, Trollslayer Orange, and then Corn Red. It's a really finicky detail, so I didn't film these bits, but as you can see, it just makes that banner pop a bit. I'm going to move on to the eyes for the helmet that the Watcher's carrying. Starting off with Wild Rider Red, applied in the middle, then Trollslayer Orange applied in the smaller area, and then dots of Avalanche Sunset in the middle, just to add to that glow. And you can see the eyes are starting to have a nice glow now. I'm going to highlight any of those black details with Dawnstone, and then a progressive sharper highlight with Administration Grey, just for those top points where the black's sharpest. For example, on the tilting shield, just on those corners that are facing, and also the rivets on the top of that. And go back to Screaming Skull. This is just to pick out any of those purity seals that are hanging off of him. Just working all the way around, picking out the texture for those. I'm going to move on to Steel Legion Drab. Now this is to make the leather look a bit worn. So providing quite a scratchy highlight just to add some texture onto those leather backpacks that he's got there. Then going to move on to Plate Armour, again from Two Thin Coats. This is to block in the sword, and this should set it up for later stages because we're going to add a bit of a glow to this as well. I'm then going to glaze in progressively with Thousand Suns Blue. This is just to give the sword a power sword feel, but as we're using glazes, it should help it not look like a lightsaber. It should help with the transition between the silver and the blue, as you can see there. Got a nice blend between those two. Applying it on opposite corners on each side. I'm then going to do the same thing again with Temple Guard Blue, just in a smaller area towards the lightest points of the blade. Again, all of this is applied with glazes, just to help ease those transitions. I'm going to move on to Gauss Blaster Green. And I know you're going to think, why are you putting green on blue? Gauss Blaster Green's got a bit of yellow in it, which is going to help push the brightest points of the sword. Again, applied a glaze towards the top, and I've also applied an edge highlight all the way around. We're then going to add some contrast to the other opposite sides of the sword. Again, just glazing again, but with 950 black from Vallejo, just on the opposite side to the bright blue sections that I've just done. And then give all of the silver details a highlight with Mithril Silver, again by Two Thin Coats. As you can see, the sword really pops now. It's got a nice subtle power sword effect without looking like a lightsaber. And then I'm going to just draw on some little scratchy lines just on the purity seals, just to give the illusion of text. This is just with a Micron 003 pen. Just gives them a bit more texture without having to faff around with a paintbrush. Then I'm going to start moving on to the face. So the face is getting all over coverage of Gilliman flesh. This is just all over all of his face. We're then going to move on to highlighting it. This is all the way up from Cadian flesh tone all the way up to silver grey, progressively adding in more silver grey and then applying in smaller areas, as you can see. So this is just picking out the nose, the eyebrows, the highest points of the cheeks, as you can see. Just going to give his hair some textured highlights between Dawnstone and Administratum Grey. Again, progressively in smaller areas. So then time for the hardest stage of the face, which is the eyes. So I'll start by blocking in the whole eye socket with 950 black. Gradually just working my way around, having to turn the head into awkward angles. Then I'm going to block in the whites of the eyes with silver grey, same one that we used for progressively highlighting the face. Again, just working at whatever angle necessary just to touch those eyeballs. Going to dot the eyes back in with that 950 black just to give him some pupils. Again, this is a hold your breath for as much as you can and just pray that you hit the middle of the eye. Can take a few goes, as you can see, makes his face really pop. And with the head stuck on with a dot of super glue, Azrael is now finished. So it's time to give him a base. I'm going to go with a Martian orange base. I think this will contrast nicely with the colours that are on him. So I'm going to block the base him with AK Terrain's Light Earth. Just again, a nice thick cut over the top of that. And just leave it for a couple of hours to dry. I then applied a all-over base coat of Steel Legion Drab. This is just to set up the contrast for the orange later on. And once this is dry, we're then going to start moving on to a series of dry brushes. The first dry brush that I'm going to move on to is a really heavy dry brush of Corn Red. It's going to look really weird at first, but then we're going to give it a dry brush of Fire Dragon Bright. And then once that dry brush is done, as you can see, Azrael is completely finished. And I think that Martian base really contrasts well with the green and also the cloak. I've also just popped a couple of grass tufts on there as well. So yeah, there he is, he's finished. Hopefully you enjoyed this video where I showed you how I went about painting him. Catch you in the next one.